Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another enlightening episode of today's Economic Newses. I'm your host, John, here to navigate the tumultuous waters of our current economic landscape. Today, we'll be diving deep into an issue that reflects an ominous trend, a trend that exposes a growing chasm of distrust between the American people and the financial systems. Our headline for today is a stark one. Gold rush, Star says mining boom reflects lost faith in the US dollar. Yes, you heard that right. As gold prices surge and confidence in the dollar dwindles, the mining boom is no longer just a subject of adventurous television programming. It is a powerful statement about our collective anxieties regarding the future of the US economy. But why should this concern you? Because, my friends, this isn't just about gold. It's about the unraveling of faith in a currency that has long been a pillar of international trade. It's about a systemic shift, one that places each of our own financial futures into a precarious balance. Now, before we leap into today's gold frenzy, let's unfold the tapestry of events that have led us here. Cast your minds back to the not-so-distant past of 2008. The world watched as the financial crisis unfolded, spurring the US government into action with aggressive monetary policies. Quantitative easing, they called it, a strategy to pump life back into a stagnant economy. These policies, friends, were akin to band-aiding a sinking ship. Yes, it stimulated some growth, but it also inflated a bubble of debt, a bubble now towering at a staggering $31 trillion. In pursuit of economic survival, we ushered in an era of low interest rates, making saving less enticing and fueling bubbles in the stock market and real estate. The repercussions of these actions have been profound, reigniting inflationary fires and stretching the fabric of the American dollar, once hailed as the world's reserve currency. Such volatility has led to a pervasive sentiment of distrust in governmental financial decisions, setting the stage for the resurrection of gold as a stalwart of stability in uncertain times. Let's move on to the heavy hitters, some hard data that underscores this narrative. Gold prices have skyrocketed to $3,800 an ounce. Yes, you heard that right, $3,800. To put that in perspective, each one of those ounces surpasses the monthly income of many American families. And while our everyday expenses continue to climb, miners have reveled in a wave of profit, generating nearly $100 million in revenue during the current mining season. One of the stars of this saga, Parker Schnabel, burns through $100,000 a day in his operations. Imagine that. If you run a household, can you fathom spending such an amount daily without batting an eye? And then there's fellow miner Tony Beats, who managed to pull in a cool $500,000 in just a single week. Do you see the disparity? Isn't it worth pondering what drives this relentless mining drive? It is, according to those on the front lines, a direct vote against the people's confidence in the US dollar, as Parker Schnabel so pointedly remarked. But let's pause here, because we must address the arguments from the other side. Critics will argue that the spike in gold prices and mining interest is nothing more than the cyclical nature of economic investments reacting to global market conditions. They claim that gold as a hedge is not a reflection of any long-term structural concern within our economy. Yet Parker Schnabel and company provide a counterpoint, a sincere reflection of the growing skepticism harbored by the public. There's a sentiment that what we are experiencing is more than a temporary market shift. It's a fundamental recalibration of beliefs around financial stability and government accountability. And that, my friends, is a concern that should demand the attention of every citizen relying on the dollar for their security. So let's culminate with a passionate push for change. In the libertarian view, what we see here is a dreadful case of inflation-induced theft. As gold prices soar, the purchasing power of the dollar dwindles, stripping wealth from everyday citizens and concentrating it elsewhere. Our governmental leadership, unresponsive to the escalating national debt, leaves its people grasping for alternatives in a sea of rising living costs and dwindling futures. Liberty, once foundational to financial independence, begins slipping through our fingers like grains of sand, as a lack of confidence in the dollar propels us toward dependence on less conventional assets such as gold. In closing, reflect on this poignant reality. As gold fever surges, it serves as a glaring testimonial to the fragility of our economy and the ever-evident cracks within our monetary system. If you're tired of paying for their mistakes, hit subscribe. Join us in holding those in power accountable and safeguarding your financial future. I'm John, signing off from today's economic news. We'll see you next time.